Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Zenless Zone Zero character tier list for version 2.1. Yep, the July 2025 update is here, and things have shifted quite a bit. Whether you're a veteran proxy or someone who just rolled their first S rank, this list will help you figure out who's dominating the meta right now. We're breaking it all down, from the top-tier DPS machines to the best stun dealers and those underrated support agents that can turn the tide of battle. Now let's be real. Not every S rank is a must-have, and some A ranks are punching way above their weight. We'll be ranking them based on overall performance in different team roles, synergy, and how well they fit into the current content. So if you're wondering whether it's worth building Ellen or if Coletta finally deserves that upgrade, stick around. We've got all the rankings, some spicy takes, and plenty of tips along the way. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Zenless Zone Zero. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Billy. You know that one guy at the party who brings chips, but never joins the dance floor? That's Billy in Zenless Zone Zero. Sure, he's technically helpful. He's an attack-focused character who can dish out some okay range damage, but the catch is, to really make him useful, you have to use his crouching shot ability. Sounds cool, right? Well, not so fast. This move turns Billy into a turret. He locks onto a single enemy and stays glued to the spot while firing. So if you're dreaming of stylish dodges and multi-target mayhem, yeah, Billy's not your guy. Now don't get us wrong, it's nice to have a free character who can shoot from a distance. But in a game that thrives on fast-paced action and combo chaining, Billy's playstyle feels like someone hit the pause button on the fun. He works best in simple encounters or one-on-one fights, but throw him into a chaotic brawl with multiple enemies flying at you? He might as well just sit down and start reading a book. Sorry, Billy, you tried, but that D-tier ranking is there for a reason. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Anton, Corin, and Ben. Let's talk about some characters who are hanging out right in the middle of the pack, the solid C-tier crew in Zenless Zone Zero. Starting with Anton, this guy is a total beast when he gets going. As a strong attack unit, Anton shines during his burst mode, where his basic attacks suddenly multiply like crazy. What really cranks up his damage is when enemies are shocked, so pairing him up with characters or effects that apply shock makes him hit even harder. He's basically the bring the pain button for anyone who loves a good combo spree. Then there's Corin, another attack unit who loves to make stunned enemies pay the price. Corin doesn't have much area of effect damage, so if you're looking to clear crowds, she's not your best bet. But don't sleep on her. Her single target attacks actually hit multiple times, turning her into a fantastic damage dealer when facing those tough bosses who just won't quit. If you're aiming for raw DPS in those intense one-on-one fights, Corin's definitely got your back. On the defensive side, we have Ben, who plays a very different role from Anton and Corin. As a defense unit, his main claim to fame is his EX special attack that provides shields for the team. Now sure, his attack speed is pretty slow, which can make some moments feel a little sluggish, but don't underestimate the value of a solid shield when the heat is on. Ben is especially clutch during tough boss fights where survival is the name of the game, and he pairs super well with Coletta to keep your squad standing tall. What ties these three together in the C tier is that they each bring something useful to the table, but also come with some limitations you have to work around. Anton's damage spikes when conditions are right. Corin needs single targets to really shine, and Ben trades offensive speed for durability and support. They're all dependable choices, but require a bit of strategy to get the most out of. So if you're putting together a team and want a mix of offense and defense that can adapt to different fights without being the absolute top dogs, Anton, Corin, and Ben are solid picks to consider. Just keep their quirks in mind. It's like assembling a puzzle where each piece fits best in the right spot. In short, these characters won't blow your mind, but won't let you down either. They're the reliable middle ground. Not flashy, not broken, just steady and capable. And hey, sometimes that's exactly what you need when you're grinding through the mid-tier missions. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Piper, Soldier 11, Grace, Coletta, Anby, and Nekomata. Alright, now we're stepping up a notch with the B-tier squad in Zenless Zone Zero. These characters bring a bit more punch and versatility to your lineup without being absolute monsters. Let's kick things off with Piper. She's an anomaly unit, which means she plays around with this special resource called Anomaly Buildup. Piper can stack this buildup using her EX special attack and ultimate, and once she's got enough power stacks, she boosts the entire party's damage. Sounds awesome, right? Well, here's the catch. Building up those stacks can be pretty tedious and slow, so if you don't have the patience, Piper might test it. Moving on to Soldier 11, who's a reliable fire attack unit that's pretty straightforward to use. If you like keeping things simple but effective, she's your girl. Soldier 11 shines especially bright against stunned enemies. When she activates her fire suppression through her X special attack or chain attack, it cranks up her basic and dash attack damage significantly. So, if you've got a strategy that stuns enemies consistently, Soldier 11 can melt them down with ease. Now, Grace is a powerhouse in her own right. She's a mobile anomaly unit who really shines by dealing damage through shock. The cool part? Enemies that are shocked keep taking damage over time, even if Grace isn't actively on the field. This makes her a great partner to pair up with other attack units to maximize your damage output. She's like a damage overtime magician that keeps the pressure on without having to be in the spotlight constantly. Then we have Kaleda, a stun specialist who's fantastic for controlling the battlefield. She dishes out plenty of daze damage and can ramp up the whole party's chain attack damage on stunned enemies. What makes Kaleda even better? When you have Ben on the team backing her up with shields, she becomes a much tougher and more impactful presence. It's a classic tag team synergy that works wonders in tough fights. Ambi is another stun unit, and the best part? She's free. That makes her a great option if you're on a budget, but still want some serious daze damage. The trick to getting the most out of Ambi is to time her special attack just right, after the third hit of her basic attack. Nail that timing, and you'll be dishing out a ton of damage. She's kind of like that sneaky underdog who can surprise you when played well. Last but definitely not least, we have Nekomata. This one's a quick and nimble AoE attack unit, which means she excels when you're facing a bunch of weaker enemies. Her fast attacks, high mobility, and abilities like dodge counter and ultimate let her clear out groups efficiently. If you want a character who's a whirlwind on the battlefield, Nekomata is your go-to. What's cool about this B-tier lineup is how diverse it is. From Piper's slow but steady damage buffs to Soldier 11's straightforward firepower, Grace's damage overtime magic, Kaleda and Ambi's stunning control, and Nekomata's AoE clearing power. There's something here for every playstyle. They might not be the absolute top-tier legends, but these characters offer solid performance and flexibility. Also, many of them have neat synergies, like Kaleda and Ben working together to keep your team tough and dealing more damage, or Grace pairing with attack units to keep enemies constantly shocked. Playing around with these combos can really level up your game. So if you want a well-rounded team that can handle different situations without requiring super precise timing or crazy setups, the B-tier crew is a great place to start. They're powerful enough to get the job done, but still approachable for players who want to experiment and have fun. In short, these units bring a nice balance of offense, control, and support that can make your mid-game experience way smoother and more enjoyable. Just keep an eye on their strengths and weaknesses, and you'll be tearing through enemies like a pro in no time. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Ellen, Ju Yuan, Harumasa, Lycaon, Nicole, Lucy, Rina, Pulchra, Sukaku, Seth, and Pan Yenhu. Alright, now we're in the big leagues, the A-tier lineup of Zenless Zone Zero. These characters are absolute powerhouses who can seriously turn the tide of battle, and each brings something unique to the table. Starting off with Ellen, she's a high-mobility attack unit who dishes out strong normal attack damage. Her ultimate is no joke either. It packs a punch that works effectively against any enemy, no matter their size. If you like fast-paced, agile fighters who can handle anything thrown their way, Ellen is your girl. Then we have Ju Yuan, a ranged attack unit who excels with her enhanced shot shells on basic attacks. What really makes her shine is when she's paired with a stun unit, since attacking stunned enemies boosts her damage even more. So if you're running a team that can lock enemies down, Ju Yuan will make those shots count hard. Following her, Harumasa brings mobility and power, excelling at any range. He deals bonus damage to enemies that are stunned or affected by attribute anomalies, making him a versatile threat in many scenarios. Lycaon is the stun master of the bunch. specializing in dealing massive daze damage with his basic attacks. He fits well into any team needing reliable stun control, but he really shines in ice teams thanks to his ability to shred ice resistance. So if you're rocking an ice-centric squad, Lycaon is a must-have for both crowd control and damage output. Nicole is a free support unit who's surprisingly useful. She can gather enemies with her EX special attack and reduce their defense with her enhanced basic and dash attacks. While she's great against smaller mobs, she might struggle against tankier foes, but having a free support that can pull and debuff enemies is a nice bonus for your team. Lucy brings a unique off-field presence with her guard boar summons. These little guys deal damage on their own and can also provide attack buffs to your party after triggering their explosions. She's a support unit that quietly boosts your damage output without demanding constant attention. Perfect for players who like a bit of strategic layering. Rena is an excellent support unit focused on increasing your team's penetration ratio. That's the stat that helps your attacks ignore enemy defense. She works best in teams built around shock, but her buffs are versatile enough to fit into a variety of setups. If you want to slice through heavily armored foes, Rena's your girl. Pulchra is an off-field stun unit who inflicts daze through aftershocks. At max rank 6, she boosts aftershock damage as well as all damage types, making her a powerful asset for sustained battlefield control and damage. Sukaku is a versatile support unit who buffs attack and ice damage and has strong freezing capabilities. She's a solid pick for ice-centric teams and can help turn the tide by weakening enemies and powering up your DPS units. Seth is your go-to defense unit for shields. What sets him apart is that the characters he shields also get an anomaly proficiency buff, making him a perfect support pick for teams that rely on anomaly buildup. He's all about survivability and boosting damage potential at the same time. Finally, Pan Yinhu rounds out the A tier as a defense unit who specializes in buffing sheer force for rupture agents. Plus, his ultimate provides healing, adding sustainability to your team during longer fights. If you're running rupture-heavy comps, Pan Yinhu is a key component to keeping your squad alive and hitting hard. All in all, the A tier is where you find those sweet spots between raw power, versatility, and team synergy. Whether you're looking to stun lock enemies, boost your team's damage with buffs, or keep everyone alive with shields and healing, these units have you covered. Pair them right, and you'll be steamrolling through Zenless Zone Zero's toughest challenges like a boss. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Evelyn, Vivian, Yanagi, Soldier Zero Anby, Bernice, Lighter, Hugo, Jane, Caesar, and Chingy. Welcome to the top of the food chain, the S-tier legends of Zenless Zone Zero. These are the agents that make you feel like a god on the battlefield. They're strong, stylish, and in the right hands, downright unfair. Let's break down why these characters are running the meta like it's their personal playground. First up, we've got Evelyn. And oh boy, this woman is a boss melter. She's an attack unit built around chain attacks, and when she goes off, everything in her path disappears. Evelyn's kit is also fantastic for grouping up mobs, so she's not just good against bosses, she's a complete wave clear machine. If you like pressing a button and watching enemies vanish, Evelyn is your go-to powerhouse. Next is Vivian, the off-field ether anomaly queen. She brings something special to any team that wants to stack up disorder damage. Thanks to her Abloom mechanic, where she really shines is when she's paired with a second anomaly unit. That synergy unlocks her full damage potential. She's the kind of character that quietly works in the background, but when the damage numbers pop, you'll know she was behind it. Then we've got Yanagi, another anomaly unit who's more team player than solo carry. Yanagi boosts the disorder damage of all squad members, and she works especially well with anomaly teammates who have a different element. That's right, mix and match your anomaly squad, and Yanagi turns into a walking, talking damage amplifier. Think of her as the glue that holds your high-level anomaly comps together. Soldier Zero Anby is the evolved serious mode version of regular Anby, and she's here to wreck. As an on-field attack unit, she stacks White Thunder to deal huge aftershock damage, and she thrives when kept active. This is not a character you rotate in and out. You put her on the field, and she owns it. Every strike feels like a thunderclap straight to the enemy's face. Now meet Bernice, your local Burnmaster General. This anomaly unit specializes in inflicting burn, then doubling down with afterburn damage even while she's chilling off-field. That means you can tag her in, set enemies on fire, and then switch out while they keep roasting. She's perfect for DOT, damage over time fans who love to watch enemies suffer long after they've left the screen. Then there's Lighter, the all-in-one utility god. He's a stun unit who piles on the days, while also providing fire and ice damage buffs to the whole party. If you're running a fire or ice team, Lighter is practically mandatory. He makes sure enemies stay controlled while your DPS characters light them up. Literally. Hugo is a simple man with a brutal job. He's an attack unit who excels at deleting stunned enemies. That's it. That's the pitch. And it works. If you've got a stun-heavy team setup, Hugo will step in and land the final blow with satisfying overkill. He's the finisher every combo setup dreams of having. Let's not forget Jane, the mobile menace. She's an anomaly unit who deals a ton of damage through the assault attribute, and she pairs beautifully with another anomaly unit of a different element to trigger disorder. Whether you want her in a mixed element anomaly comp or leading an assault-themed team, Jane brings high-speed, high-damage chaos to the battlefield. Then we have Caesar, the ultimate hybrid of defense and support. She offers a powerful shield with her kit, and her high impact lets her stun enemies with ease. But wait, there's more. Her shield also grants an attack buff to the party, making her one of the best all-around units in the entire game. Defense? Check. Utility? Check. Crowd control? Double check. Caesar does it all. Finally, we've got Chingy, a super versatile stun unit who deals a ton of daze damage through her basic attacks. Thanks to her subjugation mechanic, she also boosts the team's stun multiplier, making her an excellent match with any high-damage attack unit. She's the kind of agent you can slot into almost any comp and instantly see results. She fits like a glove and hits like a truck. That's your S-tier squad. Versatile, powerful, and meta-defining. Whether you're crushing boss fights, speed-running mob waves, or climbing the endgame ladder, these are the agents you want on your side. Build around them, support them right, and you'll feel unstoppable. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Miyabi, Yichuan, Astra, Yuzuha, Ju Fufu, and Trigger. Now we're at the very top, the S+ tier of Zenless Zone Zero. These are the elite agents who completely dominate the meta, warp team comps around them, and make everything feel just a little too easy, in the best way possible. If you're lucky enough to have any of these characters, build them immediately. Let's kick it off with Miyabi. This icy powerhouse is an anomaly unit who dishes out terrifying frostburn damage with her basic attack, Shimitsuki. She's elegant, stylish, and devastatingly strong. Equip her with the Hailstorm Shrine W engine, and you'll see her damage numbers shoot into orbit. Seriously, Miyabi doesn't just freeze enemies, she erases them. Whether she's on-field or setting up massive DOT, damage over time, she's a one-woman snowstorm of pain. Next, we've got Yichuan, the Queen of Rupture. She deals sheer force damage, which ignores enemy defense. That alone should make your ears perk up. But she's not just press buttons and win. She's technical and rewards mastery. When you time her special attack and ultimate right, the payoff is ridiculous. If you're a skillful player who enjoys high-risk, high-reward gameplay, Yichuan will make you feel like a genius. Enter Astra, the glue that holds any god-tier team together. She's a support character that does everything. She gives ATK buffs, DMG boosts, allows chain attacks as assists, and can even heal the team with her ultimate. Yup, Astra is that one unit who somehow does the job of three. Whether you're pushing late-game content or just want your squad to feel immortal, Astra is always the right choice. Yuzuha might just be the best support unit in the game for anomaly teams. She increases ATK, anomaly damage, and even boosts the anomaly buildup rate, which is crucial for triggering aftershocks and other elemental explosions. If your team revolves around status effects and stacking debuffs, Yuzuha is basically their best friend. She turns any anomaly agent into a damage-dealing demon. And now, let's talk about Ju Fufu, a name that might sound cute, but her kit is nothing but deadly. She's an off-field stun agent who offers crit DMG buffs, boosts to chain attacks, and ultimate skills for the entire party. Oh, and she increases the team's decibels by 1,000, which charges your chain attacks faster. Plus, she refunds 300 decibels to attack or rupture agents when they use their ultimate. She's a walking combo extender, energy battery, and damage amplifier all in one neat little package. Trigger rounds out this monster tier lineup as a long-range stun unit with powerful aftershocks. What makes her stand out is her ability to stun from a distance, thanks to her precise sniping abilities. She's perfect for players who like to control the battlefield from afar, keeping enemies locked down while your main DPS units do the heavy lifting. She's basically crowd control on a sniper scope. What ties all these S+ tier characters together is that none of them are one-trick ponies. They bring multiple layers of power, damage, buffs, crowd control, utility, all rolled into one. Whether it's the raw destruction of Miyabi, the precise nuking from Yixuan, or the team-wide uplift from Astra or Yuzuha, they don't just perform, they elevate your entire squad. The synergy between them is also outrageous. Imagine running Jufufu to supercharge your chain attacks, while Astra keeps your squad healthy and lets them rotate in and out with perfect assists. Then you've got Miyabi or Yixuan dropping nukes on everything. It's the kind of dream setup that turns difficult boss fights into stylish highlight reels. Even though some of them, like Yixuan, require a bit of finesse, the payoff is more than worth the effort. Mastering their kits leads to the kind of satisfying, explosive gameplay that makes you feel like you're 10 steps ahead of every enemy. So yeah, if you have even one of these S+ tier units, you're already ahead of the game. Build them right, support them with the right teammates, and watch as Zenless Zone Zero becomes your personal playground. These agents don't just break the meta, they are the meta. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.